weekend it's already been here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies, with 3 extra inning victories in a row, will go for number 4 this afternoon as they wrap up this series against the Cincinnati Reds and also wrap up the first half. It is the eve of the All-Star break here in Philadelphia. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews and Chris Wheeler. A gorgeous afternoon for baseball and a great way to finish up the first half of the 2010 season. With a victory today, the Phillies could be within 1 win of where they were last year at the All-Star break. Now, some of the numbers are somewhat pedestrian compared to years past, but the Phillies have had a lot of guys on the disabled list. And with all these numbers that have been compiled by the Phils, both good and bad, there have been some amazing plays this first half. Let's take a look back. The middle. Castro's got it, flips it with his glove. Utley has it. The throw to first in time. That one's hit hard. Diving catch by Polanco. Hit hard, backhanded a one-hop by Howard. Smokes one high in the air to right center field. It's deep. Victorino on the run into the alleyway, and it's off the base of the wall. Victorino trying to track it down. Kugel's being waved home. Here's the throw by Chase Utley to the plate on the fly. Scooped up by Ruiz. He's out! In the air, down the right field line, way back there, it is gone! How about Jimmy Rollins? He's back!
I don't mind. I'll take overtime.
That one's in the air, deep down the right field line. It's a bullet, and it's gone! And the Phillies have won it here in the 12th. In the air to left field. That's pretty well hit. Heisey's going back to the warning track to the wall. It's gone! Line drive, base hit into right field. Ruiz is around third, heading for home. And for the 3rd consecutive night, the Phillies have beat the Cincinnati Reds in extra innings. Everybody on their feet. Halliday's got his size. The 1-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins, fires, Have a good time. Here we go. By Southwest Airlines. Want to see what a real airline is like? Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Toyota. Toyota's national sales event is going on now. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today. By Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented from Comcast. By Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Oh, a gorgeous afternoon for baseball as the Phillies and the Reds wrap up this 4-game series. And what a 4-game series it has been. The Phillies with 3 straight extra inning walk-off victories. Can they do it a 4th time? Or they can do it maybe a conventional way. Maybe win a ball game before it gets to extra innings. We shall see. Let's take a look at the Reds starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at second base, Brandon Phillips. Paul Janisch, the shortstop, bats second. Joey Votto hits third, followed by Scott Rowland, the third baseman. Johnny Gomes is in left field batting fifth. Jay Bruce, the right fielder, hits sixth. And then the bottom third of Drew Stubbs, Corky Miller, and former Phil prospect Matt Maloney. And they will face left-hander Cole Hamels, making his 18th start. And he's trying to get back to the 500 mark, Wheels.
Well, he has really pitched well. He's only 1-5 in his last 8 starts, but only given up 3 earned runs or less in 7 of those 8 games. So he's a little bit of that Roy Halladay thing right now, where there's not a lot of scoring going on. 170 left-hand hitters. That's one of the best in the major leagues. And they have some good left-hand hitters in this lineup. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on Cole Hamels. Well, even goes further there with 3 earned runs or less in 11 of his last 12. He's pitched very well, as you see there, against the Cincinnati Reds in 6 starts, an earned run average of 1.26 and a 5-0 record.
One of the things he's done this year is he's been able to command his fastball most of the time. In fact, he's had very good life on that fastball, and it's a very comfortable day to pitch here in Philadelphia, so you hope that he has that same kind of life against this Reds lineup. Let's take a look at the umpires for today's ball game. Todd Tischner's behind the plate. John Hirschbeck is the crew chief. Laz Diaz is at second. And James Hoy is around at third base. All around baseball, they will finish up the first half of the 2010 season. And the Phillies begin play today right on the heels of the New York Mets, who are in second place in the National League East. In fact, they are even in the loss column. The Braves lead the division 5 games over New York, 5.5 over the Phillies. And oddly, and we've talked about this, a win today would give the Phillies their 47th victory before the break. Last year they had 48 wins before the All-Star break. And you see the Reds, thanks to the Cardinals' loss last night, remain 2 games up in the National League Central. So Brandon Phillips will lead things off for Cincinnati. Phillips is 1 for 15 in the series. And because of that, his average has dropped under 300 for the first time in a little while. And here comes the first offering, and it's a changeup taken outside. We're underway in the count, 1 ball and no strikes.
Brandon Phillips, one of the guys who will be headed west today for the All-Star game. As Tom mentioned, a tough series for him. Just 1 for 15, and you know that's obviously a way you beat a team is to keep the leadoff guy off base.
Yeah, he is second in the league in hits with 108, and the Phillies have not only kept him off base, but the normal number 2 hitter Orlando Cabrera picked up his first 2 hits in the series last night. He is 2 for 16 in the series.
You know, Paul Janisch is going to hit 2 today and play shortstop.
1-1 the count to Brandon Phillips. Well, that was a strike last night, and Brandon Phillips didn't like it last night. He likes it better today.
Yeah, I'd like to see the guys who can be able to get that inside corner and pitch inside.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Boy, that was a biting fastball from Hamels. Wheels mentioned Brandon Phillips, Scott Rowland, Arthur Rhodes will head west to the All-Star game.
There's just a fastball down, good spot. Now maybe go upstairs with something.
Another foul toward the Reds dugout. Well, before the ball game, the Phillies honored their all-star selections for this year. Not only the players, but also the coaches. And the Fanatic, of course, is presenting the all-star jerseys to all the players. And Also is getting in line by himself.
Brought some tears to those large eyes of his. He could hardly hold back his emotions.
3-2 the count. Charlie Manuel said yesterday that the starter for this year's All-Star game will be announced tomorrow. See, they will head west after this ball game.
And they were working on a few things this morning in there too about extra players that are go on, some guys who can't make it.
And a changeup called strike 3. Brandon Phillips thought it was ball 4. Instead, it's strikeout number 1 for Cole Hamels.
You know, I think he hoped it was ball 4. Because 3-2 changeup was probably the last thing on his mind right there. And that thing comes out of Cole Hamels' hand, and it's like, oh, please don't let that be a strike. And it's called a strike. And, you know, he didn't complain that time because he knew it was.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah, it was right there.
So 1 away. Here's Paul Janisch, overall hitting .280 with a couple of home runs. He's been hot lately, though, in his starts for the Reds. Making his 13th start overall. He's primarily a shortstop by trade. Another good changeup. 0-2 the count. Actually, that was the curve. It just didn't have the same kind of... See, that fooled me because his curve usually is a little higher start and a lower finish. Tried to check his swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, John Hirschbeck.
Well, he backed up curveballs there, and I think everybody was surprised that that was not called a swing. I think Janisch was even walking away.
Wow. Looked like he broke the plane, whatever the plane is. That's how he broke it, and he's down on strikes. 2 outs, back-to-back strikeouts. Another changeup from Cole. Cole with 106 strikeouts this year.
There's a changeup after breaking balls before that. You know, it's funny. He's one of those few left-handers you'll see that throws a changeup inside to a right-handed hitter once in a while. Because, of course, he has the good one that will float down and away from him. But he can control it and do that. Like the call third he got on Phillips was a changeup that came towards him. Most left-handers' changeups are going to go down and away. And he has that one that goes down and away.
Joey Votto, you saw what he's done in this series. A few runs scored, 4 hits overall, and he hits that one hard. Valdez to his left, boots it. Literally has it, throws in time to get Joey Votto.
Whoa.
It's a 14-pitch first inning and a little bit of luck for the Phils and Cole Hamels. Valdez kicked it, found it, and then showed a strong arm to get Votto. So he was able to pick it up and fire a strike to Ryan Howard. Phillies got the call to finish up the top of the first. So now we go to the bottom of the first. Here's the Phil starting lineup brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Shane Victorino bats second. Jason Worth, the right fielder, hits third, followed by Ryan Howard, the cleanup batter. Raul Ibanez is back in the lineup hitting fifth. Cody Ransom bats sixth. Carlos Ruiz does the catching again. He'll hit seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base, Wilson Valdez. Batting ninth at pitching, Cole Hamels, and they will face former Phil prospect left-hander Matt Maloney. All 6'4" of him.
Third round pick back in June of '05, traded for Kyle Loesch. And he's been in the minor leagues all year. They had to bring him up because of all these injuries they've had. He's had one start so far, and you see it was a loss to the Mets up in New York the other night. Here's a scouting report on him, and we're going to kind of take this to be fastball and more changeup than anything else. Fastball, changeup with occasional curveball. And he's one of 3 Reds rookies right now that they've been forced to use in the rotation. Maybe we should take the word forced out of, because those first 2 guys, pretty good.
Absolutely. The guy last night was nearly perfect for the Reds. Travis Wood.
Yeah, Leake and Wood have been really good for them, and Maloney in there now too. Now that'll change after the All-Star break, they hope.
Jimmy lines the first pitch to left, and it hangs up there for sliding Johnny Gomes. And one away.
Maloney is as Tom mentioned, is tall, but he doesn't throw hard. You know, we put 90 at the top, and they say that's stretching a little bit. You know, he's going to be more in the comfortable range for him, 86 to 88, somewhere in there. But once in a while, we'll throw one a little bit harder. But he's a soft tosser, and he has to spot the ball. And the Phillies need to do a little recon on him now and not get antsy because he's a guy they should hit.
Well, you saw the splits for Shade Victorino this year compared to last year. Certainly more home runs than last year, more RBIs. The average is less this year than last year. And he takes one on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Shane's 4 for 13 in the series. And he pops it up. It looked like a changeup. And Johnny Gomes this time comes in and has plenty of time to make the catch. And there are 2 outs. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Rita Lute of Boyertown. If Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Rita will win $200.
Just 4 pitches for a guy you haven't seen. And, you know, that's, you know, maybe they saw pitches they thought they could really hammer. And Jimmy did hit his hard, but you haven't seen a guy, you know, you really like to see him throw a little bit, see what he has.
And Mill kind of talked about that the other day, that was going to be their approach against Johnny Cueto. And he made it seem like they wanted to carry that approach over this weekend.
Yeah, Cueto was a guy they'd seen and know what he features. This guy they've never seen before.
Jason Worth takes a pitch low, 1 ball and no strikes. Charlie Manuel will be heading to the All-Star game after this ball game. He thought he was going to have to add or he tried to add Billy Wagner to this year's team. Billy decided to go home for the All-Star break. Hong-Chi Kuo is a left-hander that they have added to the roster this year.
That was something they were working on this morning. He's sitting there this morning at 10 o'clock, 10:15, working on the All-Star game.
There's a towering pop-up to left center field. Johnny Gomes is in. He makes all 3 plays for Matt Maloney here in the bottom of the first. Phillies go down in order. One of the books here at Philadelphia in a scoreless game. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Again, go to Phillies.com to order and get more details. Top of the second, Scott Rowland leads it off against Cole Hamels. Rowland 3 for 10 against Cole in his career. And he takes a pitch a little low. Scott had not played the last 2 games. Wasn't even used as a pinch hitter because he's been bothered by a bad back, which has bothered him from time to time during his career.
He is a member, of course, of the Reds All-Star contingent. He'll be headed out there this afternoon after the game.
Mentioned before that Jason Hayward is not playing for the Braves. Charlie Manuel had invited Billy Wagner to join the team as an extra lefty. Billy declined, so Hong-Chi Kuo is going to be on the team as the extra left-hander. So that gives Charlie, Hong-Chi Kuo, and Arthur Rhodes. So instead of adding another outfielder, Major League Baseball decided it was better to add another left-handed pitcher.
Heat coming from the bench right now on that pitch.
3-1 the count to Rowland. And it's 3-2 as he hits that foul. And out of play. Nice catch by a fan. One-handed up at the Hall of Fame club. And Scott, of course, never played here at Citizens Bank Park. He's a member of the Phillies. He's hit .328 during his career as a visitor. One of the reasons why the Reds are such a good offensive team is because of the season that Rowland's having with 17 homers and 57 RBIs. He's kind of bridged the middle of this order for Dusty Baker, from Joey Votto to Johnny Gomes and Jay Bruce. They have 4 real good power hitters right now in Votto, Rowland, Gomes, and Bruce. You can even add Jay Stubbs in there too, because he has 11 homers and 43 runs batted in.
And this guy's a multi-skilled player. He's obviously helped their defense tremendously because they have a really good defense.
It's that one in the air to center field. He golfed it. And Victorino is back, and he makes the catch.
The other thing that they're very good at, and you see on their notes and their stats, is they first to third really well as a team. He'll set the tempo for that because nobody first to third like Rowland.
So he's retired. 1 out here in the second. Cole Hamels retired the Reds in order in the first. And it gives us a chance to remind you that every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. So 1 away, Johnny Gomes hitting .280 with 11 home runs and 60 runs batted in, 3 for 11 in the series. He had 4 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats on Friday night, 3 hits in his first 3 at-bats. And none of that mattered, as the Phillies wound up tying the game in the 9th and winning it in the 10th.
You'd like to think if they could get on top in this game today, they could, take some of the heart out of the Reds. It's tough to come back to lose 3 straight games like they've lost here. But, it stays close and they're going to be in it. Like the Phillies approach in the first inning will help them. Go out on 5 pitches or 7 pitches or whatever it was. It's a tough day to play when you've lost games like that. On the All-Star break's coming. Everybody's ready to move on to whatever they're going to do for a few days, and attention span can be very limited on a day like this.
That fastball just a little inside, and it runs the count to 2-2. Home plate umpire Todd Tishner, not as liberal with that inside corner as James Hoy was last night. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3rd strikeout for Hamels. Another good changeup.
Now, see, there's a difference. Think of the changeup that he struck Phillips out on the first swing, the way it dove down and in. That one went down and away. And, he has 2 different grips. He can throw changeup there. There you see that's a changeup grip there. But watch it go down and away from him as opposed to down and in. And how do you do that? Well, as Charlie would say, that's talent. That's all that is.
It's a changeup that Cole has been throwing since he was in high school.
Well, normally pitchers have changeups that go one way or the other.
And he's just become so good at it that, when it's on, he can command it to both sides of the plate.
It's amazing.
1-1 the count to Jay Bruce. Bruce 1 for 9 against Cole during his career. And he pops it up. Third base side. Cody Ransom has room over toward the warning track, puts it away, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Hamels. Hamels with 3 strikeouts. And Jay Bruce arguing with Todd Tishner as he walks to the dugout. We go to the bottom of the second. Have to see it to believe it. Check out Charlie Emanuel's interview with Bobby Cox exclusively on myPHL17.com. Charlie and Bobby met earlier this week when the Phillies and the Braves were battling here at Citizens Bank Park. Sat down and did about a 20-minute interview, talking baseball, talking Bobby's life.
That was aired today,
and some of that interview was aired today. Yeah. An interview that Charlie really enjoyed and was looking forward to. Bobby Cox wasn't sure what to expect, and it turned out to be one that he enjoyed too. Ryan Howard leads it off here in the second. So Ryan's numbers last year compared to this year. RBIs are the same. A few more home runs last year, but a better batting average this season.
See what goes on here a little later. There's a little bit of tension as that inning ended. It looked like Bruce was chirping at Carlos Ruiz, and Ruiz was chirping back at him after the inning ended. We don't know what happened. But there's something, a little byplay there.
On the outside corner, 2-1. There's Jay Bruce. This is how the inning ended. After Bruce, before the inning ended, Bruce took the strike and then said something to Todd Tishner. And Carlos just nodded.
That could, we don't know. But that could be one of those ones where the umpire is saying that's a good pitch and Carlos is agreeing. Now something happens here. Watch.
Yes, I thought he was saying something to Tishner, but he actually was saying something to Carlos, right, and then Tishner.
And then Ruiz turned around and looked at him, too, and said something back to him. So, find out later.
Ball smoked, and Brandon Phillips made the catch. I mean, absolutely drilled.
Notice he didn't want to take that one straight on. He said, that thing's coming at me, and it's sinking like crazy. I'm going to take it to the side. When we talk about him hitting those top spin balls, that's a top spinner, a line drive, and it is coming down fast. And he decides, I'm taking it to the side. I'm sorry. If I miss it, it's going to the outfield and not off my leg.
Oh, what away. And here's Raul Ibanez. He was off last night as a starter, came on a pinch hit, and is 4 for 11 in the series. See the difference between Raul's numbers last year and this year. But he has been swinging the bat better lately. In fact, when he was in the number 3 spot, which was most of the time over the last week or so, he's hit at a 346 clip.
And he'd be in the 3 spot today if it were a right hand.
Right.
The only difference would be today is that Wert's sitting there because it's a left hander.
0-2 the count to Ibanez. Tried to check his swing, but he went. And that's the first strikeout from Maloney. 2 outs.
There's a breaking ball there, a hard breaking ball, slider. And, you know, left-handed hitters a lot of times will take away a left-hander's changeup. So you won't see it as much. So he goes to slider there. He's also shown curveball today and a changeup along with his fastball.
Two away here in the second, and Cody Ransom is the hitter. Cody getting another chance to start over third with the left-hander on the hill. 1 for 5 with that home run that tied the game on Friday night. There's Carlos Ruiz waiting on deck. Jay Bruce went back into the dugout after the inning and was saying something to Dusty Baker, who was looking over at the Phillies dugout. So Jay Bruce was just trying to inform Dusty as to what Carlos may have said.
Yeah, because the guy makes the last out, then go to the dugout. You know, he's headed out to his position. They bring his glove, sunglasses, whatever he needs to him. You don't hardly ever see the guy go back to the dugout after he makes the last out.
Thought it was funny though, looking at Carlos nodding. Jay Bruce was saying something about the call, and the umpire was saying it was a good pitch.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that he's saying, yeah, it was a good pitch. I think the hitter really wants to hear that sometimes.
No.
I don't know. Man, we don't know that's what happened.
I think it's kind of entertaining that he did it.
Yeah.
Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Mets are taking a 1-0 lead over the Braves in the bottom of the third. Alex Cora, an RBI single. Braves have had themselves a heck of a road trip. Took 2 of 3 here in Philly, and they won the first 2 in New York. And it's 2-2 to Ransom.
Phillies finishing up a really tough stretch. 20 straight days. I think you can only play 20 without having to get it waived by the association and the players voting on it. So this is one of those stretches, and you know it comes. The All-Star break comes at a perfect time after 20 straight. They get another tough one coming up because of that makeup game in Denver later on.
In the air to center field, Drew Stubbs coming on. Now he steps back a little bit, and he puts it away for the final out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Phils here in the second. Neither team getting a whole lot going through the first 2 innings. We go to the third. The fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, name the only 2 players in All-Star game history to hit a home run in the Home Run Derby, hit a home run in that year's All-Star game, and win the MVP of that All-Star game in the same year.
I can't even remember that question.
You want to write that down?
Well, yeah, I'll take that card with me. The answer's not on it, right?
The answer is on it, yeah.
No.
The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. I should say the answers. You know, because there are 2.
Yeah, right.
Phillies looking for the sweep in 9 innings, please.
That'd be nice.
It's not like they have anything to do later on today, do they? We start the third. It'll be Drew Stubbs, Corky Miller, Matt Maloney. And the first pitch to Stubbs is taken down. It's 1-0.
They'll be headed all the way out to California after the game today. Play that thing on Tuesday night. It'll be always fun to watch. Charlie really wants to win it too. You know, they have been through such a ordeal this year with the All-Star game, with all the new rules and guys that can't go or don't want to go and trying to pick this and do that. And I think he's glad this morning that he was sitting there, as I said, making the final few decisions that they had to do. And I think he's glad it's over, or almost over, that part of it. Now he can just go out there and do the game.
That one's hit towards second. Valdez to his right, and he throws out Stubbs. One away. It's been a long time since the National League won the All-Star game. And he'll be matching wits with Joe Girardi, the skipper of the New York Yankees.
And he's taking as his coaches Bruce Bochy and Bud Black. Coach from the Giants, of course, and Bud Black from the San Diego Padres. A couple guys he really respects and that wanted to be part of it. He wanted Bobby Cox to be a part of it, but you know, Bobby Cox just, I think what it comes down to is they want to go all the way to California at this point.
Bobby just bought a new farm.
Wants to spend some time, and I think he appreciated Charlie asking. Oh, I know he appreciated Charlie asking him.
Corky Miller takes the 0-1 low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller's 3 for 8 in the series. Ryan Hannigan started last night's ball game. Miller started the other 2, and now this final game of the series. And he lines one into left field. That's a BB. And Miller's got a base hit. First hit of the day for the Reds.
Matt Maloney has 2 career sacrifices, so he'll try to make it 3 here.
Maloney, you see, 0 for 2 this season. And the infielders shorten up, trying to get themselves set up for a possible sacrifice. Ransom way in at third. Now you've got a very slow runner at first in Corky Miller.
Right, so you think about second base on this play. You know, Ruiz just threw his sunglasses away. Ruiz would be the guy that you know, directs traffic out there. Catcher always does and tries to help with that.
One and 1 the count. That pitch a little low.
Ransom is right on top of Maloney right now. You know, so he's going to try and bunt the ball to first base if possible, or they may even take it off and try and slap it by the third baseman, because he is coming hard. Look at him cheating. Here he comes.
He bunts it back toward the mound. They may have a play. Nope. Hamels looks and then throws. Turned out to be a good bunt by Maloney. It was far enough away from Ransom toward the middle that they didn't have time, and Miller did get a good jump off first.
Well, he read that on the ground immediately, and that, you know, even if you're a slow runner, if the ball's not bunted at all in the air, like that one seemed to just hit the ground right away, he saw that so he could break. See, watch right here. See, that thing's on the ground right out of the chute, and Miller can see that at first base. Look at it right there. No hang time on it, so there's no indecision that he could get doubled off on a ball in the air, so he could go.
So the sacrifice 1-4. And with Miller at second, Brandon Phillips is the batter. He struck out looking his first time up. Miller, as we mentioned, or excuse me, Phillips, as we mentioned, second in the league in hits behind Martin Prado. And he's been a pretty good hitter with runners in scoring position for the Reds. And he takes a pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1. He has spent the last 17 games, counting this one, as the leadoff hitter for Cincinnati. Orlando Cabrera had been in that spot. Drew Stubbs had been in that spot. And Hamels is ahead 0-2.
See what an aggressive hitter Phillips is, too. So there's a few ways Hamels can go now with him.
Got him on a 3-2 changeup his last time up. Looking. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Brandon Phillips. And Carlos is going to go out to talk to Cole to make sure they are on the right page with the pitch that he wants.
No way you're going to read Cole Hamels' lips. He had that glove up over his eyes.
All about technology in this day and age, and shielding his lips from that technology. You try to elevate that fastball, and it's fouled back 0-2.
He's had some success with that this year because he's had pretty good command of it. And he'll go up there for outs once in a while, or try to get outs, and they did there. It was almost like they thought somebody's peeking or relaying something. Now there you go. There you go. Looks like Andy Pettit with that glove up so high. It was interesting what Ruiz did there on that thing. He had his hand up for a high fastball, but the pitch was not going to be there. He went down with his glove right away. It was down. There they go again.
Right to the spot that Hamels or that Ruiz was asking for.
Now that time they stayed with it, and he didn't chase.
One ball, 2 strikes the count to Phillips. 2 outs here in the top of the third in a scoreless game. Found another one back.
Here we go again. High pitch count already. A lot of foul balls. 44. Just wiped off, as you saw. Want to go somewhere else.
In the dirt, blocked by Ruiz, so it's 2-2 as Miller stays at second. Good block by Carlos to shift to his right.
Yeah, it does what you're supposed to do as a catcher. You call changeup or breaking ball, you always anticipate it in the dirt, especially with 2 strikes like that. So he was ready for a ball in the dirt, and that's what it was.
Number foul again, and it remains 2-2. Cole has thrown at least 100 pitches in 14 of his last 17 starts. Last two outings, he's gone 7 innings in both. He's allowed 3 runs in each of those. Again, they're shielding their lips from
Schilling it. Kurt Schilling was one of the first guys to do that.
I was just thinking about that when it first started. It had to be in the 90s at some point.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was the first one, but it just seemed like, you know, Schill was a trendsetter. Oh,
he's just not going to get that pitch today.
Great idea, though. After all that stuff up and then change ups away, try and sneak something on the inside corner. It's inside. It was.
That was a little tighter than the others that he's thrown there. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. Back toward the middle. Nice play by Hamels on the glove side, and he fires over to Ryan Howard, and the side is retired. Pretty good off-speed pitch from Hamels to get the final out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've played 2.5. The Reds got their first hit, and the Phillies got their second good defensive play. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by your participating Philadelphia area Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDealer.com. It is a gorgeous afternoon, and that is a tremendous shot right there. That one, too. Just the look of those flowers as they were in the backdrop.
Blue sky, little puffy cumulus clouds today. Low humidity, temperature is high. It's supposed to be around 90, but feels so much more comfortable today.
So Carlos Ruiz leads it off. It'll be Ruiz, Valdez, and Hamels. And he hits one in the air to left center field. That's pretty well hit. Stubbs on the run into the alleyway, and it's interference. Laz Diaz called it immediately, and Ruiz will be at second.
Yeah,
good for Laz. Look how far out he went.
Yeah, that was really hustled by Laz Diaz. Great point, Tom, how far out he is there. And he says the fan reached over and interfered with that, and that it was not going to be a home run.
Now they're going to confer. The umpires are going to confer. And they agree with Laz Diaz. So Charlie Manuel might come out and ask John Hirschbeck to review it. Right there, the fan leaned over, hit off his hands, hit off the railing after that. It didn't look like it was going to go out. No. John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, came down as Charlie was going over to talk to Todd Tishner to ask if they can replay it. Charlie's now talking to John Hirschbeck. It's his decision, the crew chief, as to whether they do it. That's 3 doubles now and 3 at-bats, and last 3 at-bats for Carlos Ruiz.
All out in the same area, too. He picked the deepest part of it, one of the deeper parts of the ballpark there. Or that would have been out. Now they're going to go look at it, looks like.
Charlie has said before that that's all he asks. If it's there, if they can at least review it just to see if they may miss something.
Well, they're going to talk about it again. They haven't decided to go in yet. I mean, Laz is saying he has it all the way, and
well, he was
he had a great angle.
Yeah,
he was out there and had a great angle. Well, they are going to look at it.
Well, they have the technology, so they figure, what the heck? I mean, it is true, it's there. So just to confirm, they'll go down the stairs and take a look at it. Dan Baker, the public address announcer here at Citizens Bank Park, just informed the fans. John Hirschbeck just informed Dusty Baker that they were going to review it. And there's another look. Look at the gentleman in the tank top right there. Oh, that's good. Spotlighted. He's over the fence, leaning over. He's got it. And then it hits off his hands and boop, off the fence, and then comes back into play.
If he caught it, it'd been a lot easier call. Here's another look at it. The guy reaches over and deflects it. And what you don't see in there, and of course you can't because we have such a great shot of the close-up of the play, is how far Laz Diaz is out there. Now, that's Gomes. Johnny Gomes, the left fielder, who turned around right away and said, hey, that ball's in play. And he's right.
There's John Hirschbeck. He's come out and he says no home run. He says it's a double. So they looked at it quickly.
That didn't take long. Here you go. Now here's Laz right there. Now look at him hustling. Look at him. He is really hustling out there, and he's also taking an angle so that he can see if something happens out there. And that's a terrific play by the umpire there to get that angle, call it correctly, and then the technology. See Gomes right away putting his hands out too. Good job by everybody there.
So a runner at second, nobody out. Corners play in with Valdez up. And Charlie's not having Valdez bunt with the pitcher spot due up, although Cole Hamels is a good hitting pitcher.
Right. The difference, in the game last night was the point you were in. You bunted here.
2 for 6 of the series, Valdez.
Because Ibanez was going to come up pinch hit.
Right side, that'll get the runner over to third. And of course, Charlie Wilson wanted to do a little bit more than that, but he at least got him to third with less than 2 outs, and now they'll take a shot with Cole Hamels. On a beautiful day here at Citizens Bank Park, everybody enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying the warmth and the cold. That's right, it's our Thirst Inning. It's brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst Inning.
last night on the first pitch, they had that play right there that they wanted him to hit it to the right side. Then when he went strike one, they put the bunt on and he popped it up. And Charlie said he didn't second guess himself on that because he feels Valdez is a good bunter. But being in the hole, he thought, well, maybe he can get the bunt down, more likely than hit the ball to the right side. It didn't work.
Well, the infield is back with the exception of Rowland at third here with one out and a runner at third. Cole hitting 188. He has 6 hits at 32 at bats. Now they come in a little bit. And it's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Their feeling on this is you have a catcher running at third base, so you don't have to play all the way in. You can play halfway. If the ball's hit and Ruiz breaks and it's hit hard enough, they can come home.
Chopper to the right side. Votto has it. Looks Ruiz back to the bag. 2 outs.
And they did not go on contact. You can see there with Jimmy Rollins on deck, they took their chances there that, you know, instead of him getting thrown out at the plate, that Jimmy could knock him in with 2 outs. You'll see what Carlos Ruiz does now. He's reading it that it's hit right at a fielder and hit fairly hard. He's a dead duck if he goes, so he doesn't go.
So he's on third with 2 outs. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy lined out to left his first time up. And he lines one down the left field line. Is it fair or foul? It is a foul ball. Just foul.
I think he knew it was foul, but he ran anyway. He took the bat all the way with him. You know, if he knows that ball's fair, he's not going to be dragging that bat down the line with him. I think he's hoping more than anything that somehow that, oh man, that was close. I think good job by an umpire too. You saw James Hoy right there hustling down that third baseline. Got a very good look at that. This crew is, you know, this crew will get graded highly for what they've done in this inning for hustling.
Oh, and 2 the count to Jimmy.
Major League Baseball, all the umpires, of course, are under the same umbrella now. It used to be 2 leagues, and now it's all under the same. There's video. There's all kinds of ways they go over tapes and rate the umpires. And, you know, they're talked to.
There are umpires, supervisors that are at the ballpark each game doing ratings. I shouldn't say supervisors. There are folks here who are rating the umpires. Sometimes they're supervisors.
Sometimes.
Supervisors can talk to the umpires. The other folks who just do the ratings cannot. And it's 2-2.
Like Hank Nichols, who was here.
Right. He doesn't talk to the umpires. Right. He just rates them.
Right. Hank is a Philadelphian, very, very well known as a tremendous college basketball official and has done umpiring, and just a great guy. And it's always fun to have him around. He worked a bunch of Final Fours in his great career.
Jimmy hits it the opposite way. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Just put the bat on the ball and Ruiz scores. It's 1-0 Phils.
Yeah, it looked like a fastball away, and if that's the kind of pitch you try to pull, you hit to the third baseman or the shortstop a lot of times. And Tom said just put the bat on the ball, lined it to right field. Phillies lead 1-0. Here's a look. It's a good pitch by Matt Maloney too. Great spot. It's probably going to be a strike. Jimmy has to protect. Nice job.
Oh, Victorino flies to left his first time up. And he takes a fastball for strike 1. Matt Maloney, as we said, was traded to the Reds for Kyle Loesch back in 07. Loesch went 3-0 for the Phillies, but the team was 9-2 in his starts with the Phillies. And he was one of the big reasons in the second half the Phillies were able to finish off their run for the National League East and get to the postseason against the Rockies.
Kyle Loesch did a good job that year.
Maloney at the time was a good prospect. In 06, he led the South Atlantic League in wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts, and was the Sally League's pitcher of the year. Victorino lofts it to left center. Drew Stubbs will call off Johnny Gomes, and the side is retired. But the Phillies strike first. They get a run on 2 hits. They strand 1. Jimmy Rollins with the RBI base hit. Let's give it the Phils a 1-0 lead. game. Well, the Dodgers will be heading to Philadelphia Tuesday, August 10th for the start of a 3-game series. All 3 games at 7:05. You can get your tickets by logging on to Phillies.com. That final day, there'll be a Jewish heritage celebration here at the ballpark. We invite you to go to Phillies.com to get up-to-date information on not only the Phils as a ball club, but all the happenings around this great ballpark. We go to the top of the 4th. Gary Matthews joins us here in the booth. Sarge, a good day to wear a hat out in the ballpark.
Pretty warm outside, and you're right. Want to keep that sun off your head for the guys that are bald, like me and you,
guys
or
that
you
have,
and I.
Guys that have hair envy, like
That's
you and
right.
I. We start the 4th, and Paul Janisch leads it off. Janisch struck out his first time up, 0 for 1. Line drive, base hit for Janisch. I mean, he's aboard. Ibanez will get to it, and Janisch takes a big turn around first. So for the first time today, Cole Hamels allows the leadoff batter to reach. And that'll bring Joey Votto to the plate. Votto grounded out his first time up on a ball that was kicked by Wilson Valdez. It was a really close play at first. He was called out to finish off the inning. Valdez stayed with it the whole time.
Yeah, probably one of the things Votto doesn't do well, and that is run. Other than that, you'd almost consider him a 5-tool player. Again, he does everything else well and above average, except for running.
We mentioned this the last couple of days. He is tied for the league lead in home runs with 22. He also has 60 runs batted in. Ryan Howard leads the way with 65 RBIs. He and David Wright. Outside, 2-1.
Wouldn't be surprised this year if a pitcher was named the most valuable player, just the way things are going. Don't see really any outstanding hitters. You're just having one of those career type years. Some of the guys having outstanding years, don't get me wrong.
Now, will a lot depend? Let's say Ubaldo Jimenez is the guy you're thinking of. He has 15 wins going into the All-Star break. If the Rockies do not win the West, and they're surging right now, I mean, does that cost him?
I don't think so. I mean, it will cost him some votes, but I don't. I mean, if he wins 28 games or so, you're looking at the MVP.
Down and away, 3-2 to Joey Votto.
A lot of ball games to win, and 30 games. I mean, let's face it, he's a shoo-in. You would think.
Well, with Scott Rowland waiting on deck, this is the fourth full count for Hamels. That one's in the air down the left field line. Slicing away from Ibanez. Slicing toward foul territory, and it is foul. He's got the feeling the way that ball was heading down the line that it wasn't going to stay fair.
A left-hander hitting that ball. It's going to slice and slice toward the left field line. Hard to keep that fair. You can see the ball outside, too. Puts a pretty good swing on it. You see, he makes the effort to try and go that way. He knows foul ball.
Well, there's ball 4. The runner was going on the pitch, so now the Reds have the first 2 batters aboard here in the 4th. So nobody out, and Scott Rowland is the hitter. Well, Sarge, you know, it's interesting. You mentioned a pitcher winning the MVP. Sports Illustrated just did this whole article a couple weeks back about this being the year of the pitcher. Jimenez throwing the no-hitter, having 15 wins. The perfect games by Roy Halladay and Dallas Braden. What would be the win total that would give you give the pitcher the lead in the MVP?
Well, I think it depends also on that loss column, too. I mean, Valdez, you look, if he wins 26 games or so, stays right where he is, 25 ball games. It's just, even so, the hitters or the pitchers have been most dominant. I'm surprised. I mean, Sports Illustrated and even coming out with that, I mean, we recognize that, I thought, early on that pitchers were dominating the leagues, happening all over.
Well, I think that was their thought. You know, it hasn't been this way where the numbers have been so staggeringly for the pitchers and the run totals have been down. You know, I mean, it's trending downward offensively, but for the pitchers, their success is trending forward. Somebody even joked, well, maybe it's time to lower the mound again.
Huh, that would be good. I'd like that.
See, I knew you'd say that.
Oh, absolutely. Let's
See, he wouldn't like that.
No, he wouldn't, but he's tall enough. It probably wouldn't matter for him. He could throw with no.
Inside, 2-1 the count to Roland. Well, last night, Travis Wood had a perfect game into the 9th inning. Through 9 innings of shutout baseball, as it turns out. Carlos Ruiz had the double in the 9th that broke up the perfect game. He and Roy Halladay were exceptional through 9. Neither favored in the decision, but Ruiz eventually scored the game-winning run. Swing and miss. A little high cheese, and it's 2-2.
Boy, that's some reserve there. 94 miles an hour as he throws the ball right by Scott Rowland. Check a look at this. That ball is a ball, too, though. Hard to catch up with that one.
Scott's been bothered by a sore back, and he looked like he winced a little bit at the end of that swing. Five 3-ball counts, or 3-2 counts for Hamels today.
Hey, watch how he kind of switches. Their back is hurting him some. You can tell that.
Runners go. Pitch is lifted in the air. Down the right field line. Howard on the run. Drops it in foul territory. Tough play with his back to the infield, but he'll tell you he should have had it.
Yeah, I think he, too, had in the back of his mind with those runners running that he was going to throw, catch it, and get rid of it. Obviously, the most important thing, you really got to go on and be able to catch that. Well, maybe not. It just in his glove and didn't close it. See, if he closes it once he hits it, he ends up catching that. You're right. That's a play he thinks he should have made.
So again, it's 3-2 to Roland. Let's see if the runners take off again with nobody out.
Yeah, you do that with a pitcher throws around the plate, and more importantly, a hitter that can put the bat on the ball.
Ball 4. A couple of really close pitches. And Carlos Ruiz just put both hands out and bounced them on his hips. And here comes Rich Doobie. The bases are now loaded.
See where this pitch is.
It must have been low.
Oh, you see Carlos not moving that glove very much, but he did bring it up some. So it might have been borderline low, but really, that's a pitch, though, as a hitter. You got to swing at that. With the eagle eye there by Scott Rowland, and ends up being a good play.
Rich Doobie is talking to Cole Hamels as Todd Tischner's walking out to the mound. Nobody out, bases loaded. Well, Tuesday, August 17th at 7:05 is the first of a 3-game series between the Phillies and the San Francisco Giants. All 3 games are night games here at the ballpark. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Giants and the Nationals are wrapping up their series. Travis Ishikawa has 3 RBIs. Giants lead that one 5-0. Here, the Phillies lead it 1-0, but the bases are loaded for Johnny Gomes. And he chops it toward third. Charging his Ransom. Has trouble with it in his glove, but then still gets it to the plate in time to get Giannis. Looks like he had trouble gripping that ball, Sarge.
Yeah, that heads up to him coming home, knowing that he couldn't get 2 at any of the other bases. Momentum taking him right there at home. You see how he moves over just to create his angle? Gets him in plenty of time. So he starts moving over, going toward the mound just to make sure that he has the right angle to throw that ball to Ruiz, the catcher.
So the bases remain loaded. The infield is back looking at turn 2. The batter, Jay Bruce, and the first pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Bruce popped out his first time up into foul territory.
Take another look at it. See this now as the ball is thrown. Now you see there Giannis, as he comes over, he's doing the same thing. Trying to get the
back to the box to second for a wall. He caught it out of the air. It's a double play. I thought it hit the ground and shot right back to Hamels. He caught it out of the air, and he threw to Jimmy Rollins, covered at second. The double play is recorded, and Cole Hamels, with very few pitches after loading up the bases, works out of the jam. How about this? Boy, he is a heck of an athlete, and his reactions were beautiful. He hung on, and then just a little flip to Jimmy Rollins. Fade pattern, covered second. Reinvented from Comcast. By Toyota. The Toyota's national sales event is going on now. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today. And by McDonald's. McCafe your day at McDonald's with a new McCafe Frappe. Bottom of the fourth, Phillies are on top 1-0. But Cole Hamels just worked himself out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam by getting a ground out and then a little line drive back to him for a double play. And Jason Worth leads it off against Matt Maloney. Worth slams one straight away center field. Stubbs on the run to the warning track, and it's caught by a fan, and it's interference again.
Oh, boy.
See, the problem is, if he hadn't caught that ball, it may have shot off that wall and gotten away from Stubbs for possibly a triple, or you never know what else.
That's a great call because it would have done just that. You know, fans, it's okay to grab the balls, but you don't want to have interference in coming over, and especially games that are very, very close. Now, it's okay to grab any ball that comes in the stands. Yes, you are in the right. Just the way the fan was the other night with Jason Worth. But when you come in here and you're reaching over and you see how close center fielder is, that ball's going to hit off of there and ricochet and maybe even get it inside the park home run. It's clearly not going to get out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that's the part of the wall, part of the park, Sarge, that we've seen. If there is an inside the park home run, look, boom, he catches it over the fence, it hits that wall. We've seen it shoot and go a totally different direction.
Yeah, and Stubbs now, he's just actually real close to the wall as he gets high five. Not a very good play. Double low. Automatically, they're going to go take a look at it again. I'd be very surprised if they overturn from being a double.
You know, and you look at the base runner, too. I mean, Jason's got great wheels. And you would think that if the ball hits that wall out there and shoots around with Stubbs so close to the wall, he really has a chance to get three out of it.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. At least three, if not more.
So Jason for now is at second. Boy, he really hit that hard.
Boy, scalded the ball there. I'm sure now they're getting calls and saying that you're on, but I will say this, and see how he lanes over.
That's a great shot.
Clearly not going out. It is a terrific shot. See his elbow there on the inside of the ball. Clearly the ball not going out of the ballpark.
Yeah, and see how Stubbs went into the wall. There was no way he was going to catch it because it was a line drive. And again, I think that ball could have shot her out a little bit and been more than a double.
It's automatic. It's going to shoot there, and the right fielder will be the fielder that's going to have to pick that ball up.
Well, John Hirschbeck talking to Charlie Manuel. He hasn't said anything yet, but by Charlie's reaction, I'm thinking that it's going to be a double. Now, Charlie may be saying, hey, if that ball had hit the wall and shot her out, it could have been 3. But the umpires award Jason the double.
Yeah, and that would be judgment. So right away, they just say he did throw up his hands and say double.
Look at Laz Diaz again getting out there, Sarge.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do there. You can see Laz right there in your picture as he goes out there to actually see exactly where the play is. He has a bird's eye view of exactly what went on by hustling and getting out there the way that he was supposed to do. Good job.
So Jason dancing off second. Ryan Howard takes one inside. So it's the second straight inning that there's been fan interference that's resulted in a leadoff double. Ryan hit a frozen rope at Brandon Phillips his last time up. And it's 2-0. Ryan with 65 runs batted in. He's also 5th in the league in hits. And that hit him. And runners on first and second. They were working him inside the entire time. And that's the second time he's been hit by a pitch in this series. So 2 aboard with nobody out. And it'll bring Ibanez to the plate. So there's Jason talking to Laz Diaz.
See where this is. This is a fastball there, up and in. That's where they try and pitch Ryan Howard.
A little low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to Ibanez, who struck out his first time up. Drive to center field. That'll be caught by Stubbs. Worth tags and draws the throw. Stubbs has a really good arm. 1 out. Well, the Stars aligned for the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game as the best of the American League take on the best of the National League. Don't miss the action Tuesday, July 13th. That's this Tuesday, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's only on Fox. Don't forget, Sarge, this one counts.
Yeah, well, all of those All-Star games now have been counted. It's a little more interesting to look at because it does mean something now.
One out, 2 aboard. Cody Ransom's the hitter. Any chance that Jason Worth's going to take off for third here, Sarge?
Well, he had a good chance, even still in reading with the left-hander up with Ryan Howard and Ibanez. He didn't go. If he gets a jump, it's up to him. He would go.
Cody Ransom hits the first pitch foul.
Those guys, sorry, Tom, those guys are usually on their own. Jason Worth would be on his own. Victorino, Jimmy Rollins. I'm sure Chase Utley, when he's back, he's on his own. Meaning that the only time you won't run is you'll get a sign from the manager, from the third base coach, and they'll give you a sign and say don't go or don't run.
He's only been caught twice in his career stealing third. Pop-up, right field line. Joey Votto, it's foul territory. Infield fly rule is called. And there are 2 outs. Now, last night, Cole Hamels had bases loaded and nobody out. He worked out of that jam. Here, Matt Maloney, the 26-year-old left-hander from Sandusky, Ohio, gets the first 2 runners aboard. With nobody out, then gets the next 2 batters, and now here's Carlos Ruiz. So pitchers are working out of some jams. Carlos doubled and scored the only run. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Now, Sarge, folks have said that Maloney in his 8 big league starts has done well the first time through, sometimes the second time through, but then kind of runs out of gas. And I wonder, when you work out of a jam like he has, and even as Cole has, if that helps or if that hurts because the other team's seeing more pitches.
Got to think that it's got to help the pitcher.
That'll slice foul and out of play.
Yeah, it's going to help the pitcher, though, and then realizing that some of those pitches he's throwing, like the guys that he's getting out, balls that are coming back. Cole gets into that problem again. He'll try and go back to those same type of sequences. He made some extremely good pitches where they weren't able to square any of the balls up and hit them hard and get them in that outfield is what the hitters want to do.
One ball, 1 strike the count to Ruiz. Worth on second, Howard on first. And a changeup, bell high for strike 2. I would think Carlos would want that one back.
Now, he's been seeing the ball pretty good. You can tell by the way he's taking the pitches. It's evident of how hard he's been hitting the ball. He was in a fastball, little mold then, landing a little hard on that front foot. Soften that up just a little bit.
Outside, 3-2, so the runners will go on this next pitch. Worth's been dancing off second, so he'll dance off his way to third. An RBI by Jimmy Rollins. That's the difference in this ball game. There's the difference in last night's game too. Runners take off the 3-2. Inside, ball 4.
Now, that's what I mean about seeing that ball very well. Carlos working that ball. Good at bat. Even though he's throwing kind of hard, he didn't rush out there on that pitch.
Worth is on third. Howard's on second. And Ruiz over at first. Wilson Valdez grounded out to second in his first time up. And that one's hit toward the hole. Diving stop. Giannis, he'll go to third, and there's the final out. That's a heck of a play to finish up this 4th inning. Giannis was shaded toward the middle a few steps, and he had to go diving into the hole and retire Ryan Howard sliding toward third. No runs. 1 hit. 3 men left. Tickets to the July 31st concert at the Wachovia Center. Just log on to myphl17.com/contests now to enter for your chance to see them up close and personal. For the books here at Philadelphia, Phillies lead at 1-0 thanks to an RBI single by Jimmy Rollins in the third. Phillies had the first two runners aboard in their half of the fourth, but couldn't score. And now we go to the fifth. Cole Hamels has allowed 2 hits so far. A couple of odd plays today, Sarge. 2 interference plays.
No, 2 interference plays, you're right. Bob Pan reaching over and actually reaching over and catching the ball. And there it is again in the fourth inning. Jason Worth pounds that ball. You see a fan coming over just right there and reaching and catching the ball, and see the outfielder all up against the wall there.
Well, that outfielder, who I think would have been a whole lot of trouble if that ball had been let alone to hit the fence. Laz Diaz was out there making that call. No, that outfielder is Drew Stubbs, and he leads it off here in the fifth.
Looked like he kind of ran right into the wall there. Looked like he kind of jumped into the wall as if he was going to catch it. Jason, being a fast runner, ball gets away from him just a little bit. He'd be able to get to third with no problem.
Stubbs rolls it toward the left side, backhanded by Jimmy. He's got to hurry. Stubbs runs well. Oh, he called him safe.
Wow.
John Hirschbeck had a tough call earlier that went the Phillies' way, where Joey Votto was trying to leg out a ball that was kicked by Wilson Valdez. I thought that time that Jimmy got him, but we'll see.
All right, ball hit in the hole, too, though. He goes in, backhands it. He got it, got rid of it quickly.
Oh, it looked like he got him. Right there. Right.
Yeah, he's out.
Yep.
He's definitely out. That's how close, though, it is for an umpire to make that call.
The liner caught, and it's going to be a double play, no matter.
You like that again, too, though, because he's not wasting a lot of pitches getting that done. That's poetic justice. He shouldn't have been on first base anyway. There it is. Little line drive there. And not only that, he had a nerve to slice it kind of right to him where he didn't have to move. As if you're hitting a fun gun. Way to go.
So 2 away, and here's the pitcher, Matt Maloney, who sacrificed his first time up. And Maloney, taking all the way, takes a fastball right down the chute for a strike. Opposite way, and it's 0-2 into the sweet level. And a base hit from Maloney. He sliced it right into left field. So he's aboard with 2 outs here in the fifth. I would think that's aggravating for a pitcher to give up a hit to a pitcher, another pitcher.
And especially now, a little hot, humid out there. He gets a double play, and pitcher comes up and gets a clean base hit in the left field, inside out swing.
Brandon Phillips is 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out. And that curveball must have been inside, and it's 1-0.
Pretty good pitch, however. You know, those are the spots, though, you want to be able to throw your ball in. You don't want it going over the middle of the plate.
On the hands, a pop-up. Shallow right. Valdez calls everybody off. Ooh, he was still backpedaling. And he makes the catch at the side, is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left. Middle of the fifth, it's the Phils 1 and the Reds nothing. this summer and help give returning vets a piece of the high life. Go to MillerHighLife.com for details. Bottom of the 5th inning, Phillies lead it 1-0. An RBI single by Jimmy Rollins in the 3rd. A couple other base runners for the Phils, but not a whole lot going on for either team offensively. There have been 2 rallies, one for each in the 4th. But for the 2nd straight night, this sold-out crowd is watching a pitcher's duel. A little different than last night's between Roy Halladay and Travis Wood, but a pitcher's duel nonetheless. And as we go to the 5th, it'll be Cole Hamels, Jimmy Rollins, and Shane Victorino.
Well, Cincinnati Reds are coming up with these type of pitchers, and especially Travis Wood last night. They have a pretty bright future. Always a test, though, that following year.
Pretty bright future, and some decisions that are probably going to have to be made for Dusty Baker and Brian Price. I mean, not with Wood necessarily. You figure he's got to stay. But for some others, as the Aaron Harang gets healthy, Edinson Volquez gets healthy, they're going to have to decide what to do with some of the other pitchers in the rotation, or Volquez and Harang.
Yeah, I'm sure they're trying to maybe make a deal or do something. I know they haven't been very happy with Harang at all, and I know he's one of those pitchers that maybe a change of scenery will do him well. He's always been a horse.
Johnny Cueto, who pitched in the opener of this series, he's a good one.
Oh.
1-2 the count to Hamels, and Cole pulls it towards second. Brandon Phillips has got it, and there's one away. Well, we've had 2 different fan interferences today that have resulted in doubles for the Phillies. This is the second one, Jason Worth, and that gentleman made the catch just below the railing. Now, the reason we're saying that angle's so conducive to some quirky things, this is Chase Utley last July. Look where that ball hits, and then boom, it shoots right away from the outfielder. And it was against the Reds, and Chase gets it inside the park home run.
Yeah, Stubbs about just as close on that ball, and I guarantee it may not have been, and depend where it bounced, a home run, but it surely would have been a triple, just it hitting off the wall. And even if Jason hadn't, or just getting to the bag, he still would have been able to have a triple out of that.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about that angle. That's one of the quirkiest angles in this park. And Drew Stubbs was as close to the wall, if not closer, than Willie Tavares last year.
Yeah. Actually bumped there. Now you see where Utley's hit his a little bit lower there, right by the 409 mark. Nevertheless, though, look at the ricochet. And that's on the padding. Hitting off the cement might have gone even further.
That's a good point. 2-1 the count to Jimmy, who is 1 for 2. And Jimmy reaches out and pulls it toward left. That's going to drop in front of Gomes. Second hit for J-Roll. Wide turnaround first. And it's a 1-out single.
Well, as a hitter, when you get off of an injury and you're coming back, you hope that you're going to start off really hot. It just doesn't happen a lot. You got to kind of ease your way back into it. A couple of hits here, a couple of hits there. Before you know it, you're seeing the ball the way that you normally see it.
Jimmy has attempted 1 stolen base since coming off the DL. He took off and started running another time, but it turned out to be a ball that was put in play. So he has 1 steal since coming back from that calf strain. Off the end of the bat, Brandon Phillips, the second baseman, over to his left. And there are 2 outs.
Well, he catches those pop-ups like it's just as easy as can be. Making difficult plays look easy going over. He actually was checking to see whether or not J-Roll was going to be halfway or not. Not afraid to let that ball drop and get the head runner. Got to be heads up when the ball hits the second base.
Well, here's Jason, who doubled his last time up. 1 for 2. It's only the 11th hit in his last 49 at bats against the left-hander. He began the year at a torrid pace against not only lefties but also righties. And that one misses low, 1-0. Now Corky Miller went out to the mound and was talking to Matt Maloney. I can't imagine they're going to be careful with Jason with Ryan Howard on deck, but could that have been part of the conversation?
Well, probably location and remind him exactly where they want to try and get Jason out with. They like throwing him hard in, and the backdoor breaking balls like that, I'm going to say really soft away. Keep in mind they're all younger pitchers, so just making sure they keep them focused.
Outside, 3-1 to Jason Worth. So they're working it away. With Ryan Howard on deck.
Well, you go over different game plans, how you want to pitch different batters, and sometimes when they end up hitting those balls, you end up switching your game plan.
They come inside, and Jason took a healthy hack and fouled it back, and it's 3-2. So J-Roll will be off and running. Votto just asked if he should play behind Jimmy, and they said no, keep him close.
Yeah, the reason that they keep him close like that is simple. Plays behind him, he gets a bigger jump, ball hit in the gap, easier chance for J-Roll to actually score.
Jimmy goes, and the pitch is sliced foul.
And now he's got to make sure that he actually throws.
That foul ball went off, on, several different hands in one row before it dropped down to the lower level. Jimmy takes off again. 3-2, hit in the air to right field. Jay Bruce going back. He has room. On the edge of the track, he makes the catch, and Matt Maloney strands another base runner. In fact, he stranded at least one in each of the last 3 innings. We've completed 5 here at the ballpark in Philly. We go to the 6th. It's 1-0 Phils. Be a starter for the 5th straight season, but will bow out due to injury. Ryan Howard returns for the 2nd straight season and his 3rd overall at a very deep first base position. New as a Philly, but not as an all-star, Doc will make his 7th trip to the Midsummer Classic. 2nd in total player votes, Halladay makes his 3rd straight trip. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, the Philly Fanatics shooting off some hot dogs as we get set to go to the top of the 6th. Just trying to make the fans happy, Sarge. Just giving them a little extra refreshments. At least I think those were hot dogs. They should be coming out of the Hatfield shooter. Go to the top of the sixth. Paul Giannis, he's 1 for 2, leads it off. Giannis singled his last time up. Phillies have won the last 3 games in extra innings on walk-off victories. First time since 2002 when the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners had 3 straight games decided by walk-offs in extra innings.
And those are games, I mean, they gotta have, especially the way they played against the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, it's kind of turned the tide of this homestand. Now, losing 2 of 3 to anybody, even though it's the Braves, is difficult to swallow at home. But the fact that they've come back and won 3 straight against the first place team in the Central, and they've got a chance to pick up a sweep, it does make it a little easier to accept, as Giannis has his second hit of the day.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, when you put them away in the way that they did the last 3 games, you're coming out here expecting to try and win, and thought maybe that offense would be able to be clicking today.
Here's Joey Votto. He walked his last time up and grounded out. And he lines one to right field. Jason Worth to his left makes the catch. And you don't see Joey Votto swing at the first pitch that often, but he must have found something that he liked.
See where this pitch hit. That fastball out over the plate, and that's what he is looking for. He's the guy that likes the fastball, and he likes it down in the zone. A little bit of an uppercut type swing. That's why he likes driving those balls, and he can get on top of those balls when they're thrown high in the zone.
Scott Rowan 0 for 1.
Oh.
And we saw last week one of the guards down there, I think it's the same one, went spinning off his chair as there was a liner hitting that same area. He just went spinning off his chair again. The ball didn't hit him this time, but he's had enough. He's walking away.
Yeah. Well, a good thing, because by the time he got down, the ball had already hit the railing.
Another pop-up, this one to the right side and out of play. It's 0-2. Rowan, first time up in the second, fly to center. I should say line to center. Walked his last time. That one's to left field. Raul Ibanez a few steps back, and he makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. Well, Hamels has got 2 outs and now a runner at first, and it brings Johnny Gomes to the plate. Gomes 0 for 2. He is struck out and he's grounded out. Sarge, as a player with the All-Star break coming up, what does it mean? If you're not going to the All-Star game, what do the 3 days off mean?
Well, you're going to get some relaxation, that's for sure, needed rest. But then you don't want to rest too much, and usually you'll have a workout prior to leaving. We'll see how Charlie actually works that out. But again, you'd like to be able to have your batting practice and so on after you've had those 2 days off, or you work out, and then you travel to whatever city you're going to, for instance, on Wednesday to play for Thursday.
The Phillies will go to Chicago Wednesday night and play the Cubs in a 4-game series on Thursday. Is it enough just to get away from the game for a couple days?
Well, yes. I mean, it is. There's some guys that might be swinging the bat very well. They don't want it to end. Other guys that where things aren't going as well, they welcome the break. The same if teams are very hot. You don't want to take off when you're really hot. But if things aren't going well, you welcome those 3 or the 4 days off.
You could use those 3 days to clean the slate.
Clean the slate, and you'll start all over again from that midway point. But winning is the key. And if teams that played good the second half, the way that the Phillies, they got to be looking forward to getting into the second half and hope that the bad streaks are behind them the first half.
3-1 the count to Johnny Gomes with a runner at first and 2 away here in the 6th. Johnny Gomes thought that was strike 2. He waited, and Todd Tishner hasn't given either pitcher the inside corner today. And there are runners on first and second. Well, we talked about the National League West coming to Philadelphia. How about the Washington Nationals, who will be here Friday, August 20th for the start of a 3-game series. Cole Hamels. Well, it'll be the Cole Hamels Lunch Bag Cooler. Compliments of ShopRite for fans 14 and under on the 22nd of August. That's a 1:35 start. Go to Phillies.com to get your tickets. 2 on, 2 outs. And there's a fly ball to left field. Raul Ibanez settles under it. So it took 1 pitch to get Jay Bruce. And Cole Hamels is through 6 innings. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. 18 straight scoreless innings for the Reds. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. And by Suzuki and the amazing Kizashi Sports Sedan. I mentioned that the Reds have gone 18 straight innings without scoring a run. Well, you know, the Phillies scored 1 run in 11 innings last night. They have 1 run so far through 5 today. We go to the 6th. It'll be Ryan Howard, Raul Ibanez, and Cody Ransom leading it off against Matt Maloney. Over a 3rd-round pick by the Phillies back in 2005. 26-year-old from the University of Mississippi. And a swing and a miss. By way of Sandusky, Ohio. Now makes his home in Columbus, which is a couple hours north of Cincinnati. One and 1 the count. Matt Maloney won a lot of games in the minor leagues. At least I think 58 wins is a lot for a guy that, you know, is only 26. 58 and 39, an ERA of 3.32 as that ball is fouled off the foot of Howard.
Decent stats. Well, hitting that ball off. I don't know how you hit the ball off your back foot. I've seen you do it on the front foot quite a bit. It's a new trick, hitting it off that back foot.
One hopper right at Brandon Phillips. And there's 1 gone here in the 6th. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Cardinals lead the Astros 3-2. Jeff Bagwell was named the new hitting coach for the Astros.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Well, and I say that, I mean, he was a great hitter during his career. There's no question about that. He had a lot of home runs, but he had one of the more unorthodox styles of hitting.
Yeah, well, the fact is, again, he's an accomplished hitter. And maybe what they'll do is they'll get some of the younger guys to buy in or listen to what he's trying to teach them. But that's a rough club over there, those Houston Astros. I mean, they've been losing a tremendous amount of games.
2-0 the count to Ibanez.
52 to be exact going into the ball game today. 12.5 games out of first place.
Again to the second baseman, Brandon Phillips. 2-1 knee. Plenty of time. 2 outs. So Maloney has 2 away here in the 6th. Maloney's last start came against the Mets. He allowed 3 runs in 5 2/3. He wound up getting a loss in that one. He gave up a home run to Johan Santana. The Reds were very happy with the way he pitched. Today he's given up the RBI single to Jimmy Rollins. Other than that, the Phillies have had 5 base runners all told.
Well, that home run going off the foul pole that Santana hit there in New York, that's a poke, though.
On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Cody Ransom has flied to center. He's also popped out to foul territory. And he pops it up. Shallow right field. Jay Bruce comes sidewinding in. And a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Maloney. 2 ground outs and a pop out. We're through 6 here at Philadelphia. Again, it's the Phillies 1, the Reds nothing.
Well, welcome to Fan Interference Day here at Citizens Bank Park. Not a whole lot of offense again, and Phillies making that 1-run stand up on Jimmy Rollins' RBI single. You see, they just missed 2 home runs today that were ruled correctly by the umpires, and Matt Maloney's done a very good job.
Well, now Cole Hamels will go to work against the bottom third of the order here in the 7th. Drew Stubbs leads it off. Stubbs is 1 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also reached on an infield single.
Cole's done a good job pitching out of some jams. 20 foul balls here today.
Over toward the hole again. Jimmy has to hurry again. Sets himself and throws, and it's in time this time. Not going to fool him twice.
Was he out last time?
He was. Well, he was safe.
Yeah, but he was out.
He was out.
Yeah.
So Stubbs retired on the play by J-Roll.
Here's another look. Now, you know, it's not like Jimmy didn't hustle last time or hurry it, but Stubbs can really fly, and he really did the same thing there. He just was he was out by more. That's the best way to put it.
Corky Miller signaled and lined into a double play his last time up. And that ball hit him. And there's going to be a pinch hitter coming up for the Reds. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. So Miller's aboard with one out. And Chris Heisey is going to pinch hit for Cincinnati. So Maloney's afternoon is complete after 6 innings. He allowed 4 hits and 1 run. Heisey this year is hitting .290. He has 5 homers and 7 RBIs. There's Nick Massett, who's up and loosening in the pen for the Reds. Maloney only threw 78 pitches. But the Reds haven't scored a whole lot of runs the last couple of games.
Neither the Phillies. Figure they win 1-0 last night, winning 1-0 now. They've had just enough so far.
Here's Maloney sitting down in the dugout. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
You wonder if they'd have let him hit if Miller hadn't gotten hit by that pitch.
Last 2 nights, the starters for the Reds, 15 innings, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Travis Wood last night. And Maloney today.
And the good news for the Phillies out of that is they have not manufactured a win out of that, have the Reds, for those kind of numbers.
The last 2 games, the starters for both teams have combined for 30 1/3 innings of work and just 1 earned run. That one's back toward the middle, could be 2. Jimmy's got it. He'll take it to the bag himself for the first one. He fires a strike. And Ryan Howard's hand's going to hurt on that one. It's a 6-3 double play. The sign is retired here in the 7th. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. Phillies offense looking to stretch when we come back. History to hit a home run in the home run derby, a home run in that year's All-Star game, and win the MVP award of the same game. Now that's a long-winded question. We'll say it one more time. Name the only 2 players in All-Star game history to hit a home run in the Home Run Derby, a home run in that year's All-Star game, and win the MVP award of the same game. It's a long one, Wheels.
Well, I remember Mike Piazza, but I don't think he run the home run. I'm going to say Mike Piazza and Barry Bonds.
Mike Piazza and Barry Bonds would be incorrect.
Yeah. All right. You know, that question's ridiculous. But go ahead, let's hear it. I love to be educated.
Cal Ripken Jr.
All right.
In 91 and Garrett Anderson in 2003.
Okay.
You can log back on to Phillies.com and find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Great question.
Yeah. It's filled with a whole lot of history.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Well, we learned something. That's good.
Well, bottom of the 7th inning, Nick Bassett is the new pitcher for the Reds. It's a 1-0 game. Bassett in his 45th ball game, 3-3, a 5.50 earned run average. 45 hits, 41 strikeouts in 37 2/3. Well, the Reds bullpen last night allowed the winning run. It was Nick Bassett, Bill Bray, and Logan Andrusik who were out of the bullpen last night for Cincinnati. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, Jose Contreras is loosening up right now, as this is the bottom third of the lineup that's due up, so Charlie may choose to hit for Cole Hamels since he's due up third.
Yeah, you know, it may depend on what happens here in this inning. You know, kind of like what just happened with them, with the Reds. You know, they got to the point where they got a guy on with 1 out, so they hit for Maloney, and you know, maybe they may look at it that way.
Ruiz is a double and a walk today, and he has scored the only run. And he's behind 0-1. Carlos now 3 hits in the series, and all 3 are doubles.
And one of the 2 doubles reviewed today.
0-2 the count. Yeah, his double came back in the 3rd to lead it off. Jason Worth's double that was reviewed was back in the 4th to lead it off. Here's a pop-up. It's a shallow center. Drew Stubbs will give way to Paul Janisch, the shortstop. And there's the first out. Now the Arizona Diamondbacks will pay the Phillies their only visit to Philadelphia beginning Tuesday, July 27th at 7:05. All 3 games are night games. Thursday the 29th at 7:05 is 80s Retro Night. Get your tickets by logging on to Phillies.com. And there's Cole Hamels out of the on-deck circle. So I guess it depends on what Wilson Valdez does here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, depending on what happened in this inning. Of course, he gets the first out. Cole's at 100 pitches at this point, so that doesn't mean he can't pitch another inning. But he has had to work out of some jams there. A lot of times they'll go on not only the pitch count, but how much pressure the guy's been under, and they've had a lot of base runners.
Well, he's retired the side in order just twice. That was the 1st and 2nd. He faced the minimum in the 7th, but he hit a batter. Away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Talked to Wilson today, asked him about the wrist. He said it's absolutely fine. It was just sore. It was just sore the day after the opener of this series. It's the opposite way, foul, and it's 1-2. Placido Blanco, we mentioned before, plans to go to Clearwater to continue his rehab from his sore left elbow. He was taking ground balls today, which was a great sign. A roller toward third, that's foul. And just the fact that Pauly is getting that much closer to coming back means that when he's due, when the Phillies feel like he's comfortable enough to come back and not have that elbow flare up again, he'll be ready. I think he's anxious to get out there again.
And they want to get him back.
There's Placido. They think he's going to play some games down in Clearwater for the Threshers. on Thursday and Friday. Now they're saying that there's a possibility that St. Louis, it might be Chicago that it comes back for at some point in that series. A breaking ball and a good one, and Valdez knew it. He was locked. 2 outs.
And that'll keep Hamels in the game. This guy has a really good curveball. That's an understatement. Locked is a perfect term. That thing started at him, and just froze for a split second. That's all it took.
So 2 outs for Hamels, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to the right side. And he hits one to center field. Drew Stubbs started in. Now he heads on back. And he gets there, making the waist-high grab. And the side is retired in order. So Massett works a clean 7th. We go to the 8th. Cole Hamels will go back to work against the top of the Reds order. Ford dealers by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. And here we go. 6 outs to get for Cole Hamels. He leaves it just 1-0. And he's out there. And, you know, the area where we saw that sign before where it said, you know, sweep in 9 innings, please. Well, right next to that is that coal train with the smoke coming out, and Chooch puffed up in that smoke.
Clever. Good section out there with those signs. Here's Cole today. He's done a really good job. That's Phillips with the changeup in the first inning. 3-2 called third. There's another strikeout. There's one on another Reds, and then a little comebacker off the bat of Phillips. You know, they had the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't score, and that's the reason why. He got a ground ball right before that, force out at the plate, and then Bruce hit the line drive right back at him, turned it into a double play. That's triple play potential right there, but that would have been 4 outs.
And you would have just been showing off if you did that.
Yeah, he had his choice where to throw that thing, too. I mean, everybody was absolutely hung out to dry, and for whatever reason, he just turned around, flipped it towards second.
Well, I had thought the ball had hit the ground first and shot up, and when he flipped it to second, I was like, oh, it must have been caught.
Yeah.
You see what Cole and Roy Halladay have combined to do the last 2 nights. Pretty impressive.
And they've had to do it because Hamels has 1 run to work with, and Roy had none last night.
That one's to short center, and Victorino makes the catch. Roy Halladay, so impressive last night. All the strikes he threw. 9 strikeouts overall and 9 innings of work.
That confrontation he had with Hannigan was just great. Boy, that was unbelievable, where they were trying to stay away from contact. Perfect game was still underway. No runs in the game. A runner at third, 1 out. Charlie said he went out there and talked to him. You know, they just were going over some possible scenarios of what could happen, and he said Halladay was at him. He said, I want this guy. Charlie said, oh, Go get him.
I'm going to leave now and go back to the dugout.
Got him. And that's kind of what he told me. He said that's what he wanted him to say. You know, because they didn't want to get to that point, as we talked about, where you may have to deal with Phillips with 2 outs because there's only 1 out at the time. And you have to think about the pitcher if they get another base runner there.
It was curveball, curveball, curveball for Roy Halladay to get through that jam. 1-1 the count to Yanis. And there's a curve. It's 1-2. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, here it is. Ryan Hannigan finally gets him on that breaking ball right there. Oh, that was exciting. And Hannigan really, but he only had 8 strikeouts and 81 at bats going into the game last night.
That one's hit softly toward the middle. Valdez to his right, and there are 2 outs. So Cole is 1 out away from getting through the 8th inning. Now J.C. Romero is up and loosening in the bullpen for the Phillies. I guess that was if there was a runner on and Votto came up.
Right. Yeah, if he ran into trouble in this inning with the first 2 guys, they had him ready for Votto. And now, you know, they're going to take their chances here. They get him out. And that, not that Hamels couldn't pitch to Votto because they're both left, but he might have wanted a different left-hander's look.
Oh, and maybe a fresher arm, too.
Right.
Romero and Contreras now loosening up. Votto has bared down late in games, as you see there. The last inside pitch, but maybe he didn't like it as low this time. Two and one the count to Votto. That's outside.
Contreras out there with Roland on deck.
And Johnny Gomes behind him. The 3-1 swing. Miss. He was late on it. 3-2.
That was a good spot to pull through that too. Fastball away. That puts a hit.
Three, 2 outs. Opposite way, a liner. Ibanez on the run, out to the corner. That's off the wall. It gets away from Raul, and Votto will get to second.
Decision time, but you got to figure Contreras is in the game.
Well, Charlie's coming out as Scott Rowland is walking to the plate. Contreras and Romero loosening up with the right-hander due up. If this is it for Cole, it'll be the right-hander Jose Contreras.
Well,
Charlie's not made a signal at all yet.
You know, we had that graphic up before the game too. How few runs Hamels has had in these last few games when he's run 1 and 5, and he pitched well here again today with 1 run.
Standing ovation all the way around. Hamels acknowledges Todd Tishner. He leads with a runner in scoring position. A 1-0 lead with 2 outs here in the 8th. bring a little Phillies history to. It's the Phillies, an extraordinary tradition. It's a hardcover coffee table book. It's the definitive pictorial history of the Phillies, featuring over 400 photos plus rare pieces of memorabilia and original essays from the Phillies stars, past and present. You can get it by calling 1-877-GO-PHILS or in the ballpark at the Majestic Clubhouse store, anytime online in the fans section at Phillies.com. Cole Hamels watching on with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th and the tying run at second. He has given way to Jose Contreras. Cole was pretty good today. He allowed 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 3.
He was, and and he had a pitch, as I mentioned, he had a pitch out of jams, and it wasn't a real comfortable afternoon for him. 112 pitches. You look at the numbers on Jose, 23 foul balls in there and 6 full counts. Now, granted, he had a lot of pitches that were really close too. He was around the plate today, but not in the middle. No home run balls.
Well, Scott Rowland will be the batter with the runner at second. Rowland has fly to center and fly to left. He's also walked today. First game back after missing the last 2 with back stiffness. Good sized lead for Votto. And that pitch is inside. 1-0. See what Scott has done against Contreras during his career. 0 for 7.
Votto trying to get a walking lead off second with 2 outs, off in the crack of the bat to tie the game. They'll give him a courtesy look back there, but they're more worried now about taking away angles in the infield so the ball doesn't get through than the base runner, because there's 2 outs.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only 2 inherited runners have scored on Contreras this year. Got that inside pitch. It's 1-2.
Rowland thought that was similar to the first pitch, was called a ball, and he said something to the home plate umpire. Don't throw that split a whole lot to right-handed batters in strikeout situations. More sliders. Let's see what he does with Scott.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The runner at second and 2 gone here at the top of the 8th. It's 1-0 Phillies. Trying to lay off on a pitch in the dirt. That was the slider, and it's 2-2. Or splitter, I should say.
Yeah, that had some side to side on it. And there you see Scott did hold up. Tough to tell from there on the pitch. That had some side to side movement. Looked more like a slider.
And now Ruiz goes out to the mound to talk to Contreras. Cole Hamels, as we said, walked 3, allowed 5 hits, including that last one to Joey Votto. Trying to pick up his 7th win of the year.
That guy for 6 wins has pitched really well.
His ERA today is dipped under 4. Johnny Gomes waits on deck. 2-2 the count. And the pitch from Contreras.
That was another breaking ball, slider, and he stayed off. And that was kind of in the middle of the plate, not really a chase pitch. That was just something Rowland determined, high or low.
And ball 4. Oh boy. Called 1 a strike earlier and 2 in similar spots balls. And there are runners on first and second.
Like a backup slider almost. It came back a little bit.
Contreras was a little emotional as that pitch was called a ball. Johnny Gomes 1 for 2 against Jose Contreras. But you see 481 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's the 2nd leading hitter in the league overall with guys in scoring position. So a tough spot. Gomes 0 for 2 today. And a strike on the inside corner. 95 from Contreras. Johnny Gomes has been shaking his head most of the series on some of those close pitches.
That was right there.
One ball, one strike to count to him.
Contreras likes to run that sinker in sometimes, but you really have to get that in because in this spot you've got a right-handed hitter who's bailing, and that pitch can be hit out of the ballpark.
It's at the opposite way. Little dribbler towards second. Valdez, plenty of time, and the side is retired. Contreras comes on and combines with Cole Hamels to work out of a potential 2-out jam here in the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The top of the order is due up in a 1-0 game. Well, bottom of the 8th inning, it's just a 1-0 Phillies lead. Phillies have held the Cincinnati Reds scoreless now for the last 19 innings. You make that 20 innings, counting the top of the 10th in Friday night's ball game. Nick Massett on in relief of Matt Maloney. Maloney went 6 innings. Massett pitched the 7th, and now he's on in the 8th. And Arthur Rhodes is up and loosening in the bullpen for the Reds. Brad Lidge was walking around in the Phillies bullpen. He had his glove on, but the glove is off right now. He hasn't started to loosen just yet. We'll see what Charlie decides to do as the Phillies bat here in the home 8th.
Another nail biter.
Jimmy's got 2 hits today, and he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Scott Rowland playing way up on the grass at third. Just in case Jimmy decided to bunt. A lot of room to slap a ball by him because the shortstop's playing up the middle.
Swing and a miss. Two now to Jimmy. It'll be Jimmy, Shane Victorino, Jason Worth for the Phillies here in the 8th. Phillies trying to complete a series sweep over the first place Cincinnati Reds. So the Astros named Jeff Bagwell their hitting coach.
Yeah, saw that. After the All-Star break, he starts duties. He'd been an assistant to Ed Wade. Sean Berry.
Yep.
He used to play third for them. He was the guy reassigned in their organization.
Swing and a miss. Again, something soft. That was the splitter for Massett. And there's 1 out. Second strikeout for the big right-hander.
Throwing 2 of those in that at bat. got to go his fastball, breaking ball, and that's a split. And he used it to the left-handed batters in a good one.
So 1 out, and as Shane Victorino steps to the plate, Brad Lidge is up and loosening in the bullpen for the Phillies. And a softly hit chopper up the first base line that will go foul. Romero joins him. Now Jay Bruce is scheduled to lead it off for the Reds. He's a lefty. Would Charlie have J.C. Romero start the inning?
Sure. Could.
Arthur
Done it
Rhodes.
before.
Rhodes is up in case Victorino or Worth or both get on, and Ryan Howard and Raul Ibanez are up after them.
Right. Bassett has 2 more hitters. He has Victorino and Worth.
And a breaking ball that's in for strike 2. It's even now 2-2. Victorino has 4 hits in this series, but he's 0 for his last 8, counting his 0 for 3 today. And he stays alive by hitting that one foul out of play. Off the facing of the sweep level. Bruce, Stubbs, and Corky Miller, the scheduled hitters in the top of the 9th for the Reds. Phillies would love to get a few insurance runs here to make it a little easier. Swing and a miss. And Corky Miller steps in front of the plate to throw Victorino out. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Massett. He has 3. Put out goes 2-3. And with 2 away, here's Jason Worth. Jason has flied out twice. He's also doubled. It's inside, 1 ball, no strikes. There's JC and Brad Lidge throwing in the bullpen. Arthur Rhodes up top. Brad pitched a scoreless inning in last night's game. 2-1. Fishner calls that a strike on the outside corner. There's ball 4, so Arthur Rhodes will come on to face Ryan Howard. A 2-out base runner as Jason's on base for the 2nd time in the ball game. Here comes Dusty Baker. Well, he's had a few long walks out toward home plate and to the mound. This one will be a double switch. He's already used Heisey in the outfield, so the switch is going to have to come with somebody else. So we've got a pitching change and one other change. Johnny Gomes is already walking in from left field. Arthur Rhodes is descending down the stairs of the Reds bullpen. So it's 1-0 Phillies. A runner on here at the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs and Ryan Howard due up. Arthur Rhodes is the new pitcher for the Reds. This is the only run of the ball game for the Phillies, or from either team.
Yep, 2-out single by Jimmy Rollins on a fastball away. Scored Carlos Ruiz. That was back in the 3rd inning, and that, as you say, Tom, has been it today.
Yeah, Jason Worth being on base here in the 8th, first time since the 5th the Phillies have had a base runner against the Reds. Not only their bullpen, but also their starter, Matt Maloney. He went 6, allowed a run on 4 hits. Cole Hamels, meanwhile, went 7 2/3, allowed 5 hits and no runs for the Phillies. Here's Arthur Rhodes. Arthur in his 41st game, 3-3. A 1.56 ERA. Really the only team to score against him this year, it seems, are the Phillies. They've scored against him in 2 different games. Ryan Howard has seen the ball quite well against Arthur. He homered against him his last time that he faced him. And he's got Jason Worth over first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 3 men over, shift on for Ryan, and a toss over. And Jason's back without a tag. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Ryan, last time up against Rhodes when he hit that home run to win Friday night's ball game, he said he was looking slider. Well, that time Arthur Rhodes probably thought he was looking slider, but he threw a fastball.
Right. We're thinking he's going to take on the first pitch, looking for breaking ball so he could get it over fastball, and he did.
Ryan chops one foul into the Phillies dugout. It's 0-2.
So he went fastball with it.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Johan Santana wins against the Braves 3-0. 16 scoreless innings now for Johan Santana. That's big because the Phillies could move to within 4.5 before the All-Star break of Atlanta. They're even in the loss column for second with the Mets.
It's funny rooting for the Mets. Something just doesn't work.
He just wanted to cool the Braves off,
really?
Too.
They had a tremendous swing through here in New York. You know, they won 2 out of 3 in both spots.
Well, that's what Chipper Jones said, kind of tread water. But a win today by the Phillies with that loss by the Braves, and the Phillies could gain ground against Atlanta during this stretch, albeit small ground. Worth goes, pitch is taken high. The throw by Miller is offline, and Jason slides in safely. So he's now in scoring position, 5th stolen base of the season for Jason.
Great time to run. And Jason Worth steals the bag, gets himself in the scoring position. Now they're going to have to bring their outfielders in a little bit. Here it is. He reads the first movement from Arthur and has gone home. A strong throw, but as Tom said, a little bit wide to the shortstop side, so he gets in.
One and 2 the count, with now a runner in scoring position for Howard. And it hit him. He's hit for the 2nd time today. That fastball was at 91. That was a little harder than last time.
Well, he's diving, of course, there because he thinks he's going to get a slider. So Ryan's cheating there and diving to look for that breaking ball away, and Arthur Rhodes busts a fastball in and nails it. It's a little hard to tell there, but there it hits him. Ooh, I hope he's all right. Right on the elbow, it looked like it hit him. But he was certainly diving to look for breaking ball there, and rightly so.
Ryan was hit by a pitch back in the 4th as well. So Arthur Rhodes will face Raul Ibanez. Raul has also seen Arthur well this year. He's 4 for 11 overall.
And he has a double, 2 big extra base hits off him. He got the 2-0 on him the other night and doubled before Ryan Howard's homer.
Dusty Baker managing.
Just got a right-hander up out there with Ransom on deck.
Cody is in the on-deck circle. So Dusty Baker managing close ball games against Charlie Manuel over the last couple of days. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Trying to get the matchups that work properly for both teams. That is Jordan Smith who's throwing in the pen for the Reds. Oof. 2-1 the count to Ibanez.
Rhodes and Miller both wanted that. decided they wanted that Miller called time, it looked like, because Arthur wiped that time across his uniform, or whether that meant location or pitch, that they want to go somewhere else. And I think he just wanted to make sure they were right about where they were going to go.
A slowly hit chopper to the right side. Brandon Phillips is on it, and Ibanez is retired, and so is the side here of the 8th. No runs, no hits, 2 men left. We go to the 9th inning. J.C. Romero looks like he's next up against Jay Bruce. Thing. There have been some close ball games, as it turns out, during this series against the Reds. Last night the Phillies won 1-0 in extra innings. Night before they won by 2 in extra innings after being down by 6. J.C. Romero is on for his 28th game. 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA. Now he may be on for just 1 batter. We'll see. As Charlie Manuel wants him in to face Jay Bruce to start the 9th inning. Brad Lidge is throwing in the bullpen. Thursday, Brian Schneider, his home run in the 12th, won it for the Phils. Friday, Howard's 2-run home run in the 10th, won it for the Phils. Last night, an RBI single in the 11th. So we've got the 12th, the 10th, and the 11th. Let's get the 9th.
There's been a whole lot of margin for error in these games.
Jay Bruce takes a fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, left-hander, and then right, and then Nix is in the 9-hole, the double switch, and he's a left-handed hitter.
Last time the Phillies won 4 straight was a combination of 3 games against the Indians and 1 against the Blue Jays. They'll appeal on that one. Yes, he went around, says James Hoyt. And it's 0-2. Bruce is 0 for 3. He's popped out twice.
Good call.
He's also lined into a double play. So that's 1 and 2.
Go back over this game, and one of the big key plays of this game was Cole Hamels picking that ball up the middle.
He made 2 very good plays defensively today.
And he does it. And Cole's such a good athlete.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 1 away here in the 9th. And here comes Charlie. So that's going to be it for J.C. Romero. Just 1 batter, the left-hander. And Charlie's going to go to Brad Lidge. It seems he hasn't made the call. There it is.
It's not a popular move here with the crowd.
Some murmurs from the crowd, some expressions of stress. Here comes Brad Lidge with 1 out here at the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies lead it 1-0. J.C. Romero certainly did his job. He threw 4 pitches, got Jay Bruce swinging on strikes to finish off that at-bat. Perfect spot. Bruce, he couldn't catch up. When we come back, Brad Lidge is going to try to get the final 2 outs of the game. Bruce swinging on strikes for the first out here in the ninth. And now the other 2/3, well, it'll be Brad Lidge's responsibility. It's his 18th game. Brad has 5 saves. He's blown 3 saves and earned an average of 4.80. And he will face Drew Stubbs, and I would imagine a pinch hitter, but we'll see. Corky Miller is due up after Stubbs here in the ninth. Charlie Emanuel goes left for the first out, and now trying to get the right set up here against Stubbs, and it looks like Miguel Cairo. Stubbs 1 for 3, and he takes a slider for strike 1. There's Cairo. Brad has blown 3 of his last 4 save opportunities. Let's see if he has the command that he had when he came off the DL with that slider. And he's ahead 0-2. That was a fastball at 94. That's good velocity. The other night his fastball is at 91 and 92. 44,000 plus trying to get behind Lidge to get the second out. He's got his sides. The 0-2 pitch. High 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Nasty slider from Lidge. Back-to-back strikeouts for Romero and Lidge. 2 away here in the ninth.
The one pitch that he threw out of the strike zone, they tried to throw out of the strike zone, and that was the high fastball, 0-2. Now this is that slider that starts in the strike zone, and then the hitter will chase. You know, they only have a split second to see it, and it looks like a strike, and by the time they swing, it isn't. Right there, that ball was in the strike zone and then gone, and that's the out pitch.
So here's Cairo pitching it. Swinging at the first pitch. It's a pop-up. Shallow right field. Valdez gives way to Jason Worth. And the Phillies have held the Cincinnati Reds scoreless for the last 21 innings. And in doing so, they have swept out Dusty Baker's Reds in a 4